Hey y'all, it's Eric with Lion Lawn Care again, and it is a beautiful, wonderful Sunday afternoon. And today I'm going to review a SCAG Tiger Cat 2. Let's get into it. All right, y'all, here it is next to my mower, and this will be a little bit, mostly a review, but also a little bit of comparison between the two. Now, obviously, the SCAG is a much more pricier machine and more intended for kind of that guy who's committed to the commercial scene, whereas this is more of a prosumer model. So obviously there will be some differences in quality and differences in just what it's intended for, but nevertheless, here we are. So I've had this demo for about a week. I got it from Blue Water Equipment in Blue Water, Alabama. It's out there near Center Star, past between Killen and Athens. So if you guys are in like northwest Alabama, give them a shout out. They let me keep this mower for over a week now. They say they usually typically do about a week on their demos. So longest demo by far that I've gotten from any dealer around here. So huge shout out to them. They've been wonderful to work with and very easy to work with as well. So like I said, I've had this mower for about a week. I have it for 2 more days before I bring it back on Tuesday. And I've put about 5.5 hours on this mower. By Tuesday, I'll probably have put about 7 or 8 on it. Not using it for every single little thing, but it's, you know, testing it out, seeing the differences, that kind of stuff. So first off, and this is the, has the Kawasaki FT730 VFI. I think it's a 26 horsepower, and this is a 52-inch Velocity Plus deck. So SCAG has a really good price on that particular motor combination with this. I'm not sure, I'll ask the dealer, but I think Kawasaki gave them some super whammy deal on it. So this mower comes in just under $9,000, maybe just over with taxes and stuff, you know, depending on your dealer. But pros on this mower, and if you're watching this video, you've probably done your own research on SCAG, but believe the hype when it comes to the cut quality. The cut quality on this mower is the best that I've demoed and tested and driven so far. It is really, really good. Really, really good. Now, like I said, I put about 5.5 hours on this mower, and let me show you this. That opening right there is massive, and it discharges like crazy. Gets everything out from underneath the deck. I've mowed some pretty thick stuff this week, and look at that. No accumulation under the deck. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a whole lot better than the Husqvarna and any other mower that I've tested, that's for sure. It keeps the deck very clean underneath. I mean, obviously, if you go through some super thick, wet stuff, check your deck afterwards. And it also has been relatively dry this past week. We had one or two little showers, but the cut quality is wonderful. I love the cut quality. Another thing I really like is the foot pan. Look at this. It lifts, locks into place immediately, and you have full access to all of the spindles and everything. I've used this several times the last week, because what I like to do is after I'm done with a yard, I'll leave the mower outside the trailer while I trim up and everything. And then when I get the blower out to blow off the property, I'll come and blow off the mower. Well, now I just have to pop this up, and all of this gets blown out after every yard. There's no accumulation on the deck. Obviously, you can't do that on the Husqvarna. Husqvarna has a little knob here, and then it pulls out this way, and that doesn't have anything to hold it. You actually have to remove it. So I don't think I've ever done that with that mower unless it's like a weekly cleaning. I don't think I've done it on like a yard by yard basis. And then you just kind of lift, pull that up, and it goes right back down. So love that feature. The Grasshopper that I demoed had that feature as well, and that was probably one of my favorite things about the Grasshopper, was how easy it was to get to all that stuff. So okay, another pro that I really like is the seat. It's very comfortable. really good suspension throughout the seat. And yeah, I haven't had very many complaints about that. Another thing I really like is the dual fuel tanks. It has a little valve right here that you turn with a little diagram showing you where to go with it, and it has fuel gauges on each one, right and left tank over here. I think total it's 9.5 gallons, but don't quote me on that. It has fill-ups on either side. It's a split tank system. So also really like the Tiger Eye system and how that's all laid out. Sorry, it's upside down, but there you go. Another pro that I really like is the engine. This is a wonderful engine, plenty of power, and it's very well suited for this deck size and this mower. I feel like that 26 horsepower EFI is like right in that sweet spot where you're not overdoing it, but you still have plenty of power to do what you want with it and still get good fuel economy. So really like that about it. Another pro, sorry, is the speed. This is a pretty quick mower. I think top speed listed on the website is 12 miles an hour. Now, you're never gonna mow that fast, obviously, but it's fast. It's very quick. But let's talk about some cons really fast. All right, so there are a lot of things to love about this mower, but there were some cons that I really didn't expect, and that kind of surprised me a little bit, honestly. Some things that maybe aren't cons, but that are kind of neutral. The handles are very stiff, like very hard moving forward and backwards. It took me a while to get used to them. The first 2 or 3 days that I used it, I was like, man, I absolutely hate these hydros. Like, I push so hard on these sticks, and it did take some getting used to. Now I'm kind of ambivalent about it. It's whatever. The Husqvarna is adjusted where it's very, very light on the sticks, so I'm used to that, obviously. And then when I got on here, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm having to work so hard to get it to move and do what I want it to do. So but like I said, you kind of get used to it, and I'm sure that's maybe something that you can adjust. I don't know about that one. Another thing is the deckless system. Now, it is very, very smooth. I don't want to say frictionless because that's impossible, but very, very little friction moving the deck up and down. It's very easy to slide the deck up to the lock position. However, the deck is very heavy. The amount of deck assist that they put on there is not enough, in my opinion. And so what ends up happening is it's very easy to just slam on that lift and get it into the lock position. But for me, it's been difficult to kind of float the deck, or just lift it up a little bit to get over a root or rock or something and kind of feather it, or to not scalp over a hill or whatever. So great system. I wish it just had a little bit more lift or assist or whatever you want to call it in that system. So I really like this. I'm not a huge fan of the layout, but one thing that I really like they did is there's no catch on this pin. Hang on, let me show you. Okay, sorry about that. So this pin is not held in with anything. You just lift it out and go back in. So I actually really like that. The Husqvarna has a similar system where it just has a vertical pin, but it has a little catch on the bottom, and it's you gotta yank that thing up, and then when you put it back in, you gotta smack it. So I don't like having to do that on Husqvarna. This was nice not having to do that, but it's also, why do you only have, so it's 3/4 inch increments. So it goes from 1 1/4 or 1 inch, I think, 1/4 all the way up to 5 inches. You know, it's not a pro or a con. It's just, I like the pin system. I thought it's kind of weird that they only had 3/4 inch not increments, but 3/4 inch sections. So it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 1.5, 2 1/4, 3, 3 1/4, 4.5. I mean, it's kind of, you just have to look. That's what I'm saying. It's not a very quick system unless you're used to it. So if you own the machine, obviously it's probably not a big deal. But anyways, the other thing I'm kind of ambivalent on is the parking brake. This is the release for it, and then up here you have I don't know, a second release, if you will. It's like an electronic lock, I suppose. You have to release the pressure here, and that automatically releases the parking brake. But when you want to put the parking brake back on, you have to depress this all the way and then pull that lever back, and then release the pressure here with the lever pulled back. And it's like, why do I have to do 14 different steps when I can just pull a lever over here or push it down? And a lot of mowers nowadays even have automatic ones where you just, when you pull the handles in, it takes the parking brake off. When you pull them out, puts the parking brake back on. So it works very, very well. You can tell the parking brake is very strong, but also kind of needlessly complicated, in my opinion. Now that, you know, subject to change, I suppose. If I talk to a SCAG person, an engineer or a reps or a dealer, and they say, oh, they do that because XYZ, well, maybe I'll change my opinion, but so far I haven't talked to anybody about that. Here's my one actual really con that I don't like about the mower. Like I said, this is a prosumer model over here, and this is a $9,000 commercial model. And if you don't get that engine, it goes over 10. Why are the tires on the $9,000 mower skinnier and smaller? Actually, I think they're actually a little bit taller, but they're skinnier than the one on my $6,000 mower. That doesn't make any sense to me. So the hill climbing ability was actually very similar to the Husqvarna. I was hoping with you know, obviously a more expensive, more commercial minded machine, that hill climbing ability would be better than the Husqvarna. The Husqvarna is not, it's not bad, but it's not good on mowers, on hills, sorry. It's just kind of whatever. And I'll throw a clip in here of the SCAG mowing a hill, and you can see it sliding all over the place. And that is a hill that I regularly mow with the Husqvarna, and it also slides. So very similar situation with the SCAG. Okay, so now that you saw that, another thing is the SCAG weighs, I think, 1,150-ish pounds, you know, give or take. The Husqvarna is about 850, so SCAG is about 300 pounds more, if I remember all of my stats correctly. And with skinnier tires, you're gonna have a lot higher ground pressure, which means that if the ground is soggy or soft, you're going to leave ruts easier than you would in the Husqvarna or a mower with fatter tires. So luckily the week, maybe unluckily because I didn't get to test it, the week that I've been testing this mower, it hasn't really rained that much, and when it did rain, it was just a light sprinkle and it moved on. You know, it wasn't a storm or anything, so I never really got to test that. I'm just kind of wondering what SCAG's thought process was in putting such skinny tires. Now obviously you don't want the tires to stick out past the deck, and with a 52-inch deck, it's, you know, hard to squeeze all that in there. But I mean, Husqvarna does it, and it's not a lot. The SCAG sticks out a little farther, I think, but yeah, it's just kind of a weird thing that I didn't expect on the SCAG, I guess. So overall, I really like this mower. It's definitely up there in the contenders for a mower that I would think about buying as my next mower, as an upgrade. And I'm gonna talk with the dealer, get some questions answered from them, and I'll talk to you guys after that. So here's some mowing. I don't know if that's necessarily rutting right here in the middle, or if that's just where the deck cut in. But All right, y'all, it's actually a few weeks after that SCAG demo, and just a couple things. The brake, the foot brake, and all, you know, what I was saying, it was complicated. It's so that you can apply that brake quickly with your foot. And so my opinion has changed on that a little bit, because right after I made that video, I had an instance where I was coming down a hill and I needed to, it was convenient because I could just slam on the brake really quickly with my foot but not lock it. So I guess that's why they did that. Also, the tire width, I looked at the dealer that I went back to had some 61-inch mowers of the Tiger Cat 2, and they did have wider tires, even wider than the Husqvarna. So it is just a space-saving thing. So just so y'all know and are aware, you know, I want to give full credit to SCAG. You know, what those were design implements, you know, that were thought out. It's not just, oh, they didn't do that because whatever reason. So yeah, I just want to throw that out there. The SCAG is a really nice mower, y'all. And there's a reason they have a good reputation, and it's because they're a good mower. So that's just my final thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys next time.